So this is it. We now have Now and Then, the last ever single that includes all four of the Beatles. So what do you think of it? I want to know your feedback. Let me know in the comments below. I don't know what you expected, but having heard the original demo and the difference in John's vocal by the time Peter Jackson had finished with it is just incredible what technology can do. When we think back to Free as a Bird and Real Love and the technology they had back then, it was okay, but you can still tell it was based on a demo. This is just phenomenal. So we've got Now and Then, 4 Beatles on it. It's never going to happen again. Now, not everybody seemed to have liked the song. It was never going to be a classic #1 mega hit, was it? But historically, this is such a significant song. For more reasons than just this, the last one that the 4 Beatles were on. Why, after all these years, did they want to record this song and release it? Now, I don't know if you know, but there's a couple of very, very interesting stories about the song. Now, a few years back, when I was working on my last book, which is called The Country of Liverpool, Nashville of the North, I was looking at the country roots of the Beatles, which go back to all their influences, right the way from the Quarrymen all the way through. Country music was a big, big part of the musical influence of the Beatles. Now, after the Beatles are split up, you may not know, but Paul spent some time out in Nashville and he recorded Junior's Farm. And so country music was big for him. He then met up with one of their heroes, Carl Perkins, and they were just playing together, talking about the old times. And Carl Perkins wrote a song, and it's called My Old Friend. And one of the lines in it caused Paul to well up with tears and to leave the room. And Carl Perkins was thinking, what the heck have I done? Linda explains what happens. These are the lines in the Carl Perkins song, My Old Friend. My old friend, won't you think about me every now and then? So Now and Then gets a mention. Well, why was that significant for Paul? Because, as Linda told Carl Perkins, the very last words that John Lennon said to Paul as he left the Dakota building on their last meeting were, think about me every now and then, old friend. Those words meant a lot to Paul because they were the last words that John spoke to him. And now, another twist, if you've seen the record, on the back is the clock. And on the clock it says, Now and Then. This was a clock that George had bought. And this was in the house. And one day, Olivia was standing there, holding the clock in her hand, when Paul rang her and said, do you remember years ago that George helped us work on one of John's demos? We're thinking of trying to finish that off. And Olivia said, it was called Now and Then. I know that because I'm holding the clock with those words on the front. I think this is George's way of saying he's okay with it. So Now and Then, it's history. It's the end of an era. It's the last time we're ever going to have an original song with all 4 Beatles on. What a way to sign off. But those extra connections are just magical. And there's always something wonderful about the story of the Beatles. So now we've only got 2 of them left. Then we had all 4 of them. Let's celebrate Now and Then. But tell me what you think about it, what your thoughts are. How did you feel when you first heard that song and when you first saw that incredible video that Peter Jackson had put together as well? It's great, isn't it, that we can still be talking about these lads who were in a band who broke up in 1970. They're still making it a big difference. Hope you enjoy it. Let me know what you think.